Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Some people dream of success while you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it! If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.
Well, good evening, everybody. What a rousing intro statement from Shia LaBeouf there. You didn't get that on Instagram. You should have been on YouTube. But welcome, one and all, to another live stream direct from the headquarters of our entire operation right here in a very windswept, autumny Stroud in the UK. I must just tell you all just very quickly, I've got something going on with a piece of scaffolding in my mouth, which is crossing some teeth at the back. Keeps catching my tongue. It's like basically ripped a hole in my tongue, and so everything is incredibly painful when I speak. I know, so I should do a lot less of it. I hear you. So if I do sound a little bit odd tonight, it's either painkillers or the stabbing pain in the side of my jaw. That notwithstanding, let's get over that. Carry on with the broadcast. At least you know. There we are. So if there's a little bit less talky, that's the reasons why. That's it. That's the domestics over and done with. How are you? How is everybody doing? I really hope you're keeping well. We've got some bright and sunny things to do this evening. We're going to bring you a fantastic live stream. We are going Dots and Bottles version 2.0. If you did see last week's stream, oh my goodness me. Well, wasn't that a turn up for the books? I think you'll agree. Don't worry if you haven't seen it, because you can go back onto the YouTube channel or any of the social media networks and find a link back to last week's stream. It is pretty awesome, if I say so myself. A big welcome to YouTube, a big welcome to Instagram. We're just going to do a quick camera check, and then we're all systems go, folks. Let's do PTZ, buddy. Yeah, there we go. I'm back down on there. And back up again. There we go. How awesome is that? Right, let's go around and do the overhead. There we go. I'll strike the pose. There we go. And back down to the canvas. We'll talk about that in just a second. Let's go. My favourite over there. Roam cam. That hurt. Right, Roam cam. It's not for the benefit of you guys on... Well, it is, of course, for the benefit of you guys on Instagram. There we go, look. You can watch the full 4-camera high-definition experience over on YouTube. And you can just add Suarez Art on YouTube. And we're broadcasting live now, so that's awesome and cool. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Oh, look, there's me, Lappy. Right, what can I show you? Apart from my nice clean bench, yes, for me, that's clean. Oh! What have we got here, folks? Well, let me show you. Now, last week we were using the small tops. In fact, I'll show you over here while we're on Roam Cam. Can I show you? Have I got one here? Of course, I'm going to have to do this with one hand now. Fine. Oh, no, I can't. Fine, don't worry about it. Yeah, last week these had a very tiny hole. I was using some very tiny dots. I've thrown them away, mate. So Adie's saying, show everybody the old ones. No, I emptied the track earlier. So Adie's been very kind. He's put a 4mm hole in the top, so we're going to get much more paint, and we're going to get bigger blobs, and we can get perfect circles, which is amazing. We had a little practice yesterday for about 5 minutes. Now, a few of you did mention last week about cutting the nozzle. Well, the nozzle is the same diameter at the top as it is at the bottom, so you had to get rid of the nozzle completely and just drill straight down into the cap. So that's what we've done this week. 7 colours. If we run out of those colours, we're going to top them up with other ones. You never know quite what's going to happen. And then we're going to say hello. Just cough up my lungs while I'm at it. What have we got here? Hopefully, we've just been told that the software had a little bit of a paddy to itself then. Let's hope we're still streaming okay. Instagram, we're going to bring you guys over here. Okay, that's in the thick of the action. There we go. Now the canvas is 230 centimeters long. No idea what that is in imperial, but it's quite big. 7'1", I think. And on the cross side, it's 110 centimeters, which is 43 inches. I can tell you that bit I do know. Now I've already base coated it. In my favorite colors, and that is now dry enough for us to put these lovely colors on this evening. So whereas we went to and had a blank white canvas just with last week, it wasn't quite dry enough, but this time 24 hours later it is dry enough, and that's what we're going to concentrate on now. So it's be very interesting to see what happens as we start dragging the paint, which is what we're going to do very, very, very shortly. Instagram. Right, I think it's time to get some gloves on, my lovelies. Some gloves on, my lovelies. Yes, that's good, isn't it? My glovelies on, my lovelies. I think the painkillers have just started to kick in. I don't know. It's desperation. I don't know which one it is.
What?
Right, okay. We'll get the dots on in a sec. Should we do some shout outs? Let's let Dieter, OL, Dorit, and Michael, and Zito, and Gessian, and Diva Secret 51, and Jane, and Bruno, and Peter. Very nice. And who's that? Paula as well. Great to see you guys here. We are going to get started in just a moment. Who was first in? Funny Fox was first in, but Funny Fox has had to go. Hopefully got a few minutes right now. Thank you, Funny Fox. First in through the door. Big gold star. Zane says good day. Suarezians, credit to Funny Fox for that. And Annette says good evening, as Paula is in a rainy Canada. And Nova Scotia for Sandy. Sun shining now. Lynn has joined us, and Lucia and Denise. That's lovely. Nelson, hola. Nelson from Sao Paulo in Brazil. Eleanor says a very good evening, as does Henry. Back from holidays. Where did you go, Henry? Michelle, hi y'all. Can't wait for art time. Pure Miss Poetic Justice. Up y'all. Just Janice has given us love the little intro with Shia LaBeouf. Shelley Foley Art, hello. And the Rita from New York. In 54 degrees in New York in Times Square. Geeta in Edinburgh is watching. Jackie Bouvet, painting under the influence. Yeah, sadly, unfortunately. Lee, hi guys, Lee Archer, Hero Rodriguez, and sprained a thumb, Lewington, never mind. I feel your pain. Cameron says hello, as does Robert Mungin in Pittsburgh. And who else have we got? Gessian Souza, lovely to see you too. CE, hi everybody. Jahanvi Goel, love from India. Hello. It is going to be a colourful week, Polly Fox. We're going to really, let's bring some colour into this dull, miserable world, shall we? Right. What's he saying? Now, can everybody tell me on Instagram, have we got sound this week? Please tell me, because we had no sound last week. We've been cleaning everything like Billy-O, and I really hope we got sound this week, so please do let me know. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Is this just giving up the ghost? Wow. Okay, right, so my gimbal's just decided not to be a gimbal anymore. Lovely. Thanks very much. Oh, it's all going well, isn't it? Right, perfect sound from the Rita. Thank you. Yes, right, let's have a look on Insta. You guys, can you hear me all right over on Instagram? Let me know if you can. Manuel, Carmen, Leben, and Pravin. I can't pronounce that, but it's Chica or something, Campinas. Anyway, hello. Right, we're going to get some paint on very, very shortly. Aidy's probably gone to get my power bank so I can time lapse this. Right, these are the colours we're going to be using. Oh, open the flaps. Here we go. I've got to open the flaps. Yep. Oh, corner, corner, corner. Ah, thank you. I don't know what he's saying. It's good. Right, Ada's going to turn the extractor on. Right, plan B. Right, okay, right, Dale's just joined us as well. Let's get some, oh, and Nate's oil paints, fantastic. Right, okay, enough chat, let's get some paint on. Right, hands in these time. Right, now, let's see how perfect my circles are going to be. Ah. Oh, that was close. I need my rag. Is my rag gone? Okay, right, let's try that again. Right, we got the shot. There, that's better. Nice. They're like little Smarties. A confectionery we have here in the UK. Well, not really, are they? I think, oh, like M&M's. Yeah, of course they are. Is that a smart Americans? Oh, okay. Well, that's where I'm going to get another one then. See why I've got the rag now, can't you? Okay, so not an exact science, but it's much better than last week. This is getting paint volume on. Just got to be so careful. Okay, so far so good. Obviously, oh, my knee. Ow. Oh, just not in the best physical shape tonight, am I? What is going on? Okay. But at least we've got better circles, better blobs, because this is setting us up for what's about to come. Oh, Ed, you stupid boy. All right. Yeah. It'll be all right, mate. Yeah. It's got to be very... Right, okay, that just dragged. Let's get that tucked in round the back. Yep. Okay. Right, let's get some more pink on. So they are starting to spread a little bit, which is all right. I don't mind that. Yeah, that's better. It'll be interesting to see how far these spread. Again, apologies if I sound a bit odd tonight. Just suffering a bit with the old teeth. Right, let's get one up there now. Okay, right, I'm fairly happy with that. Pink, one down. Let's do the next one. Let's go for... Oh, hello, Heather. Lots of love from America. Heather Len from America. Hello, where are you in America, Heather? Let us know. Heather Len. Sorry. Right, let's have one there. Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. Now, if I had all the time in the world, I'd probably just fill this full of dots of paint. That would be actually really cool, wouldn't it? If I just did that one time. Just had it sat over in the corner where I could just come back to it, you know, some one colour a day kind of thing. I wonder what that would look like. I'd need some patience for that. Yeah, right. Me with patience. That'll be the day. Right, okay, let's get one down here. And then I'm going to switch sides now, mate, and come the other side. Okay. It looks like my painting's got a disease, doesn't it? What would the disease be called? Paintitis. Monkey says it. Monkeypox. Thank you, Henry. Yeah, it's quite politically incorrect, isn't it? Or let's not talk about politics, eh? Not here in the UK anyway. Okay, so far so good. Let's swap this over. We're going to get some yellow. Get some yellow on. I've got a little drop of yellow here. This is a different yellow. Look, what's in the corner? That's more. It's more of a melon. This is more of a canary yellow. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of contrast between the two. Practice one up for each. Let's have a look, shall we? See what that looks like. Yellow against yellow. Ah, Mr. Buemo. Caught my knee again. Michelle. Hello, Michelle. There, that's a nice one. Denise. Oh, what a good name. Yeah, if I did one that was entirely dots, I'd call it Doctastica. Oh, that's so got to be done now, hasn't it? I'd love to do one so full of dots. I really would. I think that'd be amazing. Oh, so Nate asking, good question. Yeah, so is there something about why am I wearing a mask, a helmet? Yeah, the paints are incredibly toxic. They're enamel paints, which is a solvent paint. Now, not all solvent paints are dangerous for your health, but these are in particular. They're air drying and curing, so when oxygen hits the paint, they release two hydrocarbons, one of which is a cancerous forming agent and the other one is heavier than air. So in theory, I could get cancer or suffocate. So hence why I wear the mask. We've got a filtration system at the back which takes air in from ambient around the room and it filters it and gives me clean air over my face and then pushes it in positive pressure out through the sides. I'm always getting a stream of clean air over my face. That positive pressure prevents anything from ingressing into the mask, and then within here as an environment we then take air from the outside through the vents, which we can control. It swirls around and then the air is taken out by the extractor, which, as you hear this, everybody, is 90 decibels. But because we are super whiz bangs on computers with software, what we end up with is you hopefully just hearing my voice. So we've got the noise cancellation software on. You can't hear just how loud it is in here, but I promise you it's literally like listening to a jump jet, you know, a vertical takeoff and landing jet right by your ears. AD has to wear ear defenders and headphones. I have to wear these ear defenders as well, otherwise I can't hear anything. But it's an odd environment, just listening to a muffled version of myself. It's even worse for AD out there who has to listen to that and try and talk with himself in his ears anyway. So that's the reason, Nate. So thank you obviously for asking the question. It's a great question to ask. It always, I think, helps to cover these things off every now and again and just remind ourselves of what we're doing here. Right. See, yeah. Was it Jackie? Anyway, someone asking about the background and whether it was dry or not. Yeah, the background's had just over 24 hours to cure, which is enough for the thickness of the base coat that we've got. Yeah, it does. It's because I'm putting yellow on yellow. It looks as if, you know, we're kind of dragging that across the canvas, doesn't it? But actually, I can assure you that just concentrate on the dots that I'm putting on, because it is on the canvas. The Rita was asking, was it? Right. So is any chemical on top, or is the pink just a thin liquidy paint? Yeah, they're all different liquid densities, to be honest, Rita. And that is just because of the pigments. The pigments have various weights to them, so it means that every single paint has a different characteristic straight from the tin. Whereas with acrylics, it's the same pigment in all of them, just different colours, pretty much, apart from white. These all have different weights to them, which is great, but it does present challenges. And particularly with viscosities, when you're doing something like this, so much does actually depend on flow rates, and it completely and dramatically can change a painting depending on how much flow you either get or don't get from any particular paint. So whilst that can play to my advantage in many respects, It can also be a complete pain in others. So I just have to be really mindful of that kind of thing when I'm painting. So I can use it as a distinct advantage, which helps me get some effects that really you just can't get with any other kind of paint. So just after all these years of doing it, you kind of get used to that. So if somebody wants something in particular, my skill is trying to think, okay, how do we get to that point? Delivering what the customer wants. Jeffrey Jenkins, Oak Park Art League. How's everybody doing today? Are you watching solo or are you watching together? You're not that late, to be honest, Jeffrey. You're all right. We'll forgive you. So I'm going for a fairly even distribution, really of all colours. And just relax, chat, just get involved in it. Always love to hear you on the chat. Always fantastic to hear your thoughts and opinions and comments and, of course, questions. Things are going to get more interesting the more colour that goes on. Our dots are definitely better, friends of Instagram, more consistent. We will have a look at those as we go on. Okay. That's better so far. 4 down, 3 to go. We'll do gold last. Let's get in with the blue. Right, Insta. Tell you what, let's move you guys just there. Excuse me, just a little bit. Now, hopefully that's not in the way of Roam Cam, but if it is, I can move it. Henry, I don't know what you've been smoking, but I don't know which question to answer first. Did I eat beans today? As it happens, yes, I did. I had a risotto for lunch, and I put beans in it. How did you know I had beans today? I'm curious now. Are you stalking me? Oh, now see the blue, the Suarez blue. I'll let you into a little secret. I'll let you into a secret here, folks. Now, this goes to what Rita was saying about densities of paint. This, the blue, should keep the circle shapes a lot longer. There's a reason for that, because I was normally and historically, it's quite a... Oh! Okay, that's all right. It's quite a thin paint. But knowing what I was going to be doing this evening, I've left it out this for about 3 or 4 days. Sugar. And it's less runny. Having said that, I've just upset a couple, but that's okay. So we're getting less runny paint going on now, but that's because I've had to leave it out. So it started to thicken up as it has a natural process of curing with air, which of course ultimately makes it cure. Which is great. Right. Good to hear, Jeffrey. Thank you. Right, so blue's coming out quite nicely now. Just having to get used to how much I can squeeze and when. I'm doing enough Suarez blue. So let's work our way. Let's get one big jobber in the middle. Nice. And then I can actually lay my hand down. Just give a squeeze. It feels really nice, actually. Yeah, I like that. That's going well. Let's get one here. And then we're going to spread this out a little bit later, not too far away, and see what happens. I'm quite interested to see what happened last week. I'm a big lover. I love lines, of course I do, but I also love circles. I think circles are amazing. So, CE asking, will the squeegee be bigger today? No. I'm going to make things more difficult for myself. This is the squeegee we're going to be using if AD comes over to your top right of the canvas as you view it. What I'm pointing to there, for you guys on Instagram, that is what I'm going to be using, which is smaller. So it's going to allow me to get more shape, which I'm really excited about, but it's going to give me a bigger challenge. So what might look reasonably cathartic at the moment. Oh, crikey. Trying not to slip over in the process. Yes, Denise. Yeah, I could do that, couldn't I? Put dots on the queen prints to cover the white dots. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we put a video out a few days ago about the queen prints, which is something has been quite a labour of love for us recently. Some commemorative prints of Her Majesty the Queen, and we weren't very happy with what the printer company had done with our prints, so we decided to go and do something about it. And that's a really good video to go and watch if you haven't seen that already. And yeah, just explains what happens in a crisis and how to deal with it. And I'm very pleased with what came out. If any of you guys have received your prints, Paula, I know for a fact you got one. Have you got yours? Hope it's arrived. You do let us know. Right, we're going in with some red now. And have a look at your comments once we're through the red, because I've got to be very particular where I put the gold. And then I've got to think about, do we refill one of these with some white in it? All right, it's about bringing lightness. Yeah, I want to bring some colour and some heat and some warmth. Of course, I also need to bring those streaks of light as well through this. Right, red's going on there. Going to be quite a bit of this, I think. Oh, there's my rag. Let's get my rag. I'm up and down. I'm up and down. Okay. Okay. Teeth are holding up, so all is good. Right, this is what we're talking about, reference the Queen prints. Let me quickly show you on the screen now. There we go, Queen prints, disaster at the printers. And we've had some really nice comments from a lot of you, so thank you very much if you've already seen the video. Your feedback is very, very gratefully appreciated. Always happy to listen to everything. Good, bad or indifferent. Obviously, if it's bad feedback, then obviously you're wrong and you're mistaken. Just joking. Always appreciate it. So this is nicely setting us up for that decision on white. This is white go in. Okay, Paula, well, I've got quite a busy day ahead tomorrow, but if I can, I will check to see the status and see where we're at. It should be USPS who is sending it out to you, I believe, if I can remember. A lot of prints gone out, so I can't remember everybody specifically, but right. Hello, Donna Lehman, back in the house. Good to see you, Donna. I hope you're keeping well. Now, the Rita says, looks great on a big screen. How big is your big screen, Rita? Let us know. Let's see who's watching on the biggest screen tonight, shall we? Have a contest now. It'd be funny if, you know, if someone's like, well, I'm at the cinema actually, and I've just switched on the big screen at the cinema. I'm like, okay, you win. We're just having a few camera focusing woes. No, okay. Oh, it's focused now. Right. So I definitely think we're going to need some lightness in here. Now, while I'm applying the red, I'm just thinking where that might be. I'm trying to think ahead, a couple of moves ahead, so to speak. You know, so we don't mess it up. The red's going to be giving that warmth, which is going to be incredibly much needed. Okay, this is good. So I've got a hole there and I've got a hole over there, and I'm just looking to plug my red gaps. Let's get one there. These 4mm holes are working so well. Even so, look, you can see where the pink is the first one we started with, this one, with what is essentially the same kind of movement, how much they're moving. And this goes back to the densities and the flow rates of the paint. And actually you can have they'll be thinner on the canvas, but they'll move more, you know, and the longer they stay here, the more they'll form a skin. So this is going to be really interesting in terms of paint volumes as we move it around in what will be quite a short period of time. This is going to be really, really interesting to see how and where we go from here. But this is good. All right. Just give me a second. So, Miss Poetic Justice, looks like the end result will be amazing. Well, let's hope so. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Of course I am. Thank you, Shelley. Yeah, about the Queen Prince. Yeah, I agree. We had to get it right. Otherwise, you know, what kind of homage would be giving? What kind of fitting tribute could we give if we didn't insist on it being right? So, you know, I agree. It's a good point and well made. Yeah, Jackie, strap-on gardeners knee pads would be quite good, wouldn't they? Zane, so how did I go about choosing the colour palette for today? Any thought behind it, or was it random? Yeah, there was actually, because, well, look, you know, depending on when you watch this, we're recording it in the autumn. And I think what's important here is that, you know, we try and think about seasons, you know, quite often when it's summer and we're full of bright, you know, colours from gardens and things like that. And yet, at this time of the year, I think it's really nice to celebrate the fact that, you know, we've got leaves coming off trees, that kind of thing. Windswept gardens, we've got all the reds of autumn. There's lots of different reasons why some of these colours come together. And as you start one palette, they kind of all one kind of colour scheme, which is the oranges and the yellows. They kind of link into others, which is kind of cool. And I think that's all it is, really, Zane. So one thing led to another. I thought, oh, well, if I stick that on, then what is this going to look like? Etc. 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 No USPS in Canada. It must be courier all the way then. Or no, Royal Mail International, I think it is. Right, I'm going to take my red. Right. Henry says it looks like Christmas wrapping paper. Jack is on a 65-inch TV that's just setting the benchmark. Oh, the Rita doesn't know. Lol. You got to measure it diagonally, Rita. Okay, let's see how you get on with that. Top left to bottom right. Okay, right. I'm just going to do a quick thing here, guys. I'm just going to, because I want my white. So yeah, just figured something out. 2 seconds, everybody. So Ella asking, please tell us, is it worth shelling out, you know, lots of money, paying out for the best paint? Always, always. You've got to think, you know, not just in the short term, Ella, but what happens, you know, long after it's been created. What you want is anything you leave in this world as your mark, and your creative output will always be there. Let's have it looking as fantastic as the day you created it, as it does in 100 years' time. And, you know, the higher up the scale you go in terms of cost of paint, then you're going to get better things like archival. I'll skip that. What I mean is the more you spend on it, the better qualities you'll have in there. So the density of your pigments, any UV stabilization you've got, all that kind of thing. Anything that might be prone to cracking. When you're dealing with paints of a lesser manufacture, they're not going to have all that longevity, that's it, built into them necessarily. So whatever you can afford as being the best, you know, is important. So yeah, it is worth spending it if you can. Right, my lid is actually on. We're going to go in with the white. I think that'll be really good. Let's start middle. Where's my little rag? Let's get a fresh bit of rag. Fresh gloves, because I did notice one tiny little thing. And just here is where I leant my finger against it and left a tiny bit of paint. Oh, we don't want that, do we? Of course we don't. Right, here we go. Now, this is going to have little drops of pink in it. That's just because it's going through a pink lid. It's only got 7 lids. It's fine. It does not matter. Now, crucially, this is the one. This is the crucial one now, because this is going to define all those subtle tones that we're going to get, because we're about to break out the squeegee, and it's all going to get a bit crazy. And that's where I might go quiet, because I'm really going to have to concentrate when I get that out. Thanks, Lee. Yeah, hopefully we're getting that feeling of autumn coming through. Thanks, Paula. Yeah, I will double check to see where your print is, and just in case it's been held up anywhere. So I'll make a point at some point tomorrow of having a look to see what I can see if I can find out where your print is and how long it's going to be before it gets to you. Yeah, it's a shame we're not sending it via Canada Post, isn't it? Royal Mail. That's the one. That's all we got here. Now, I'm trying to squeeze appropriate amounts here, some bigger than others, because I'm trying now to think about where I'm going to start with the squeegee and what that's going to look like, which direction I'm going to go, and what that might do to the painting. So I'm going to really try and think quite carefully about the placement of this now. I think I had a pair of pajamas like this as a kid. Oh, Lee, sorry to hear you've sprained your foot. I'm glad you can still paint though, obviously, because that's the most important thing, isn't it? As long as you don't paint with your left foot, of course. Wait. Hilarious. Right, so we're doing okay. White's going on out. I think this is colour. We've got gold to go on, but we're colour number 7 now. Moving quite swiftly along now with the white. Liking this so far. This is good. Oh, Jim says looks like the Orionid meteor shower. Wow, Jim, you must be a bit of a stargazer then. Excellent, good to hear. Love a bit of stargazing. $160cm TV. What's that in inches? No idea. I should know, shouldn't I? 50. I was 55, I think. Was it now 58? 60 inch, I think. Just trying to do the maths very quickly in my head. Right, so we're getting to that point, guys. It won't be long. So it's a 62, roughly 62 inch Zane. Impressive. An impressive 62 inches from Zane, but not quite as big as 65.
Say what?
Right, so that now we're on the all camera shot. Obviously not for you guys on Insta. That will be fine for the white. We've got one left, which is the gold. I'll get gold on. I have to readjust my clothing because my battery pack is starting to slide down my derriere. Right, which camera are we on, buddy? Okay. Right, I'm just going to get some gold on. So there isn't going to be a lot of gold, but there is going to be some. Let's see how this comes out. Okay, that's all right. Now get my rag. Let's see where we're going to put it. Let's go on there. I'm sure it is how you use it, Zane. Oh, Henry, you're on form. 101 Dalmatians. I love it. Hello, Lynn R. First time watching noob. We've got a newbie. Yay! Round of applause. Well, great question. Do I add anything? The only thing I really add to make it flow is thinners. Thinners does have quite an interesting effect. Essentially just turns it into a liquid, and you know what liquids do when you put them on a flat surface. They go everywhere. So yeah, that's about it actually. Mostly, I do have something called Special Sauce, which if you watch more of the broadcasts or any of the historic streams, you can see a combination of chemicals which does all kinds of weird and wonderful things like selling and cratering and all that kind of stuff. But predominantly, the most common one is just ordinary mineral thinners for solvent paints. It's kind of something you can get at any industrial paint supplier. So I hope that answers your question. So Kim's trying to watch on a phone. Not fun apparently. Sorry Kim. Yeah, you'll have to crank that up on your PC or your lappy or your tablet when you get home. But hey, thank you for being here. And we're grateful for all of you for being here, because our streams would be nothing without your enthusiasm, without your input, and without the ability for us all have a good old chin wag to each other from all four corners of the globe. I think it is utterly amazing, and that is something I'm incredibly proud of, as is AD. And let's say a big warm Suarez hello to the man out in control. AD's pressing all the buttons like he does every single week. My colleague, my best friend, possibly the greatest human being alive on the planet. And I'm sure we can all show our appreciation to him in the comments.
Well, I don't know about that. I think there are probably, Mother Teresa, Gandhi, I think they might come above me. But, hey ho. Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Hopefully you're all well, apart from a bit of a sprained foot here and there and a hurt thumb. Hopefully we're all doing okay.
Right, I've just got to adjust myself because my jeans are falling down and it's not that kind of show. So I've got to sort myself out. Just moving you Instagram. Well, I've just got to readjust myself. Oh my goodness me. Zane Taylor. Zane has just sent us some 10 New Zealand dollars. We got some dollar bucks, mate. Thank you, Zane.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Zane, thank you so much. I think you might be enjoying this one then by the sound of it. I really hope you are. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. It's enormously kind, dude. And we are very, very, very grateful. Thank you. Just got to adjust myself. Haven't been eating many pasties this week, I'm afraid. Teeth and all that kind of stuff you don't want to know. Yeah, well, the dots are going to disappear very soon, CE. Zelda Lag, multitasking portrait artist on the box, and you on my phone. Incredible multitasker. Zelda, that's enormously impressive. Yes, Artfish42, we didn't say hello. Hello. Yeah, thank you very much, Zane. That's much appreciated. Right, let's take a breather because, folks, we're about to get busy. That's all the paint that's going on. I am now going to attempt to do the impossible. And, yeah, I did straighten it up, mate. As much as I can anyway. I might get a bang between two pieces of wood, but yeah, that's pretty straight. Because we're about to get all of this spreading and do some amazing shapes. And I'm hopeful. I don't even know if I could do it in one go. Do you think I could do that without taking this off? It's a tall ask, isn't it? Tall ask. Anyway, right, I think that's what we'll do. Now, let's just make sure my edge of that is okay. I think it is. I'm just running my finger across the edge. Pop us onto corner cam a second, buddy. Right, folks, lots of you watching now. Almost 100 of you watching simultaneously, which is amazing. Thank you so much. 37 thumbs up. Now, come on, guys. I'm about to do something impossible. If you're enjoying this, give us those big thumbs up. We would really appreciate it. Whatever device you're on, I'm sure you can find that icon somewhere and press it for us. That would be amazing. Thank you so much. And we've got lots of new faces on here this evening. And if this is the first time you've watched this broadcast, whether you're watching this live or on catch up, then thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to give us a subscribe, the big red button, and click on your bell icon, because we wouldn't want you to miss out on all of this cool stuff that's happening right now, because you never know when the next one's coming. Okay, and we've got lots of our patrons here as well this evening. You can go and check out all the benefits of exclusive content and your Suarez tile. What am I talking about? For those of you that don't know, it's part of a set of 102 individually painted tiles, and you could soon be the recipient of one of those. They are amazing, as our patrons here watching tonight will attest to. If you'd like to grab one of those and claim yours, you can head over to patreon.com/SuarezArt when the broadcast is over, and then you can find out exactly what all the patrons get that nobody else does. Awesome. Right, thank you very much. Let's move on. We are now about to do the impossible, so Adi can pick himself a camera. And we've also put a link inside the messages to our Patreon. And for those of you watching on Instagram, you can click on my bio, link in my bio, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Right, folks, this is the moment of truth. I'm going to give this the tiniest of sprays with the thinners. This is going back, I think, to what Lynn asked was it Lynn? What did I add to my paints? Well, this is the smallest amount of thinners. In fact, there's absolutely nothing coming out of here. So that is the smallest amount possible. Okay, so there's very little thinners coming out then. It's just fumes. All right, whatever. I don't care. Right, let's just fill that up. Henry, have you eaten a thesaurus? The blobbits. I love that. And what was the other one? The Ring of Polka Power and the Blobbits. Have you been watching Lord of the Rings on a popular streaming network owned by Jeff Bezos by any chance, have you? Wouldn't happen to be a Tolkien fan, would you? We don't live far from his birthplace, actually. Would you believe that? A place called Sarehole Mill in Moseley in Birmingham. I know it very well. Right. Okay, thinners is on. This is it, folks. There is no going back now. Quite nervous about this bit, actually. My mouth is in pain. My head aches. My painkillers have worn off. And now I'm about to go make or break with something which I don't even know is going to work. Well, there's nothing like a bit of mild peril, is there? Okay. Well, I guess just got to go for it then, I think, mate. Should we just do it? Should we do it, folks? Let's just do it.
Do it! Just do it! Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it! Make your dreams come true! Nothing is impossible! No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!
Well, that didn't last long. I'm abandoning that. No, needs to be squeegee. Needs to be the squeegee. That's fine. Let's not panic. It's never over until it's over. Right, here we go. Let's try that again. How bizarre. It's literally disappearing in front of my very eyes. I might just leave it as dots. Right. Let's change the principle again. Okay. Okay. Just give me a second here. Let me try something else. Right, if I have to lose this heart, this bit, I can lose it. Okay. Well, this is interesting. That did not work how I thought it would work. No, it hasn't. Okay, we're going to change tack, folks. did not work how I thought it was going to work. Right, just give me a second, folks. Can't disappoint anybody watching. Yeah. Right, let's have a chat. You come onto the chat, mate.
I'm on.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, so everybody can listen to what we're going to talk about.
So, what is it that it's not doing? Is it sticking in position? Is it moving on?
Yeah, a little bit, but then all of them are, and I'd have to put some severe pressure on to move those. So yeah, even though there's more volume of paint, which is bizarre.
Now, question: do you have one of your woolly hot heads?
Yeah, but that'd be even worse because doesn't matter how soaked that is, all the paint's going to literally be absorbed by that.
Right.
So if I'm going to preserve the volume of paint on here, I either need to do, yes, I just caught that, about paint thinners. Can't tilt the table, Sandy, unfortunately, because it weighs about 3 tons. Background dry enough. Yeah, Rita, it is dry enough, but it's still adhering and not allowing me to move. So we're going to give it a douse with thinners. Now this is going to reactivate what's underneath as well, so this is going to get interesting, folks. We're on this cutting edge now.
El Guero. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to put that out, what you just said. You can sort of reword it if you like, but unfortunately YouTube won't allow me to put on what you just wrote.
So yeah, great observations from all of you. Yeah, it could be actually, yeah, that it's a combination of a lot of different factors. The background being dry, yeah, but it's having that same sort of effect as last week. But now, I think with the thinners, barring the gold, which is going to be the issue. Oh, right, okay, things are happening. Things are happening, dude. Switch me on to Rome if you don't mind. Ada's just doing a bit of housekeeping. And then I'm going to show you. All right, so we've got some things happening down here, Insta, and then I'm going to show you in just a second what is happening down here. So we're just doing some housekeeping with comments because there's one or two things that Ada needs to take care of. Do me on Rome, mate. What's happening? Hello? Hello? What's happening here? Ooh. That's interesting. Right, so we're washing away what wasn't working, and look what's happening over here. Oh, sugar. Okay, just keep. Oh, right, there goes the camera. Right, hang on a second. Gimbal limit reached. Oh, we're all right. It's still working. Right, let me just put that off for a second. Right, okay. I'm going to hold that, and I'll deal with that in a second. Right. Let's go back onto Rome. Now, this is very interesting. We obviously need more thinners in the centre. That's fine. But we're now starting to delineate some of these. Oh, well. Yes. Let's put that back on there. I'm not going to preempt that at the moment. Okay. Right. Let's just see if I can sort the fact that I was trying to be too clever. I shouldn't really, should I? Ed, know your limits. Let's switch that off. And yeah, so it's a good suggestion, Donna. Yes, Eleanor, I know it does look like tadpoles, doesn't it? Dean Romo and Pilsus and Golem, thank you for being here. What was that, sorry, buddy? Oh, match all the corners. Yeah, Lee, that's interesting, isn't it? Let's just get the middle dealt with. Yeah, Zane, I don't know where your head's at. You're lucky you got away with that YouTube didn't censor that. Right. Okay, so we are getting busy with the thinners tin. Now, it doesn't matter really how much thinners I put on this because we're on an aluminium table. So I can literally go absolutely nuts, which I'm about to do. Oh, that's interesting. Right. Yeah, you can't look away now, can we? Oh, yes. Right, so I'm hitting the ones that have already been hit. And look what they're doing now. Oh, I think we might have something here, guys. Out of adversity. Tadpoles assemble from Lynn. No, he's saying it's better than what El Guero said. we can't see that because Adie's had to withhold it. Oh, now this is getting fun. Now, look how what has the white done? The white has gone nuts, hasn't it? Oh, sorry, mate. That would mean I'd have to look at the red lights. Right, okay. So, that's enough thinners. Now, the question is... Now, of course, we had the corner, didn't we? We are kind of... yeah, you just say overhead. We're kind of dealing with the corner. Now, this is quite interesting, isn't it? Oh, what is happening now? Yeah, the gold's gone a bit... I'm going to deal with the gold in the centre now, I think. Let's just pop you guys there. Sorry, it's just a rough landing. So, you stay on PTZ, mate. I'll do it from this side. Oh, you're on overhead. Okay. I know you did. I just couldn't remember. Right. No, that's fine. Don't worry. No, because now I'm in the way of it. Right. Stay on overhead. What can I do with... Oh. No. That's pulling the base as well. Can I get any tails from the gold? Oh, I got strings. I got stringy bits. Oh, interesting. Strandification society. Strandification. Oh, there's so many names I could use. Keep it clean. Let's just deal with the gold. Yeah. Now, I'm also getting a reaction to this, to what's underneath, which I knew I would because it's only 24 hours old. Normally you need a hell of a lot more time to let the base coat to dry if you're going to do a proper dry base coat, which of course I don't have that option. Oh, well, this is getting quite interesting now. What is going on? I'm even looking at the sides. The sides have got very cool as well. No, then. We really are at that crossroads, aren't we? I did not in any way expect to be in this place right now, but we are, and I quite like the fact that we are. So the question is, where do I go from here? Do I let the thinners carry on? What do I do if I just get this definite blob? What do I do with the blob? Do I just leave the blobs? Do I let the blobs develop? Trouble is, if I let those develop and I don't do all of them, then they're going to look a bit odd. Maybe I should just leave that. I think I might. Do I leave that? Oh no, Henry, I dare not squeegee that, Henry, because I think I really messed things up. No, it is. Yes, we are getting it dripping off the table, but that's okay. That's okay. So the question is there enough in that centre? Well, there's definitely enough thinners on it, I'll say that. What we should start to get now is some of this start to, I would imagine, almost looking like the egg yolk bits. They should start and sort of delineate a little bit, but I don't know. I don't want to put any more thinners on because there's about half a gallon already. Let's give ourselves a quick look on the roam cam, because this is really interesting. I'm going to give you a look in a second, Insta, do not worry. Let's have a look, see if we can figure out what's going on, because there's some very unusual things going on here. Thank you, Dale. Yeah, Paula. I was thinking about putting lines through the poles, but difficult. Now we can see what's happening. Now I've got to really attack thinners on what was happening on the base. You can see now the base is really starting to have that kind of mountainous crackling effect going on, and that's the effect of essentially just reactivating paint that isn't quite dry, which of course it isn't quite dry. Oh, look at that. Pity that's on the side, isn't it? But this is very, very unusual. Look, and you're seeing it unfold for the very first time right in front of your very eyes. The question is, isn't it, is how could I get some of those things going through the center? That's ideally. I mean, when you look at this, look, I'm going to stop in one place. Look, can you see it moving? Isn't that incredible? That's nuts. Just like Jupiter's, like storm, isn't it? Down this edge. How very unusual. Yet again, we've got this really interesting, odd kind of thing going on. So I've got to sit and think about how we then take that forward. Oh, very interesting. I'm leaving that exactly as it is. I think when you look at that, that's really quite a dramatic and, well, I think quite a provoking actual piece. Most unlike anything I can think I've ever done before. Insta, I'm going to give you a close-up look in just a second. Ooh, says Miss Poetic Justice. Jackie looks like a colourful zebra skin. Squeegee just the edge like a frame. Tempted. Leave it now, says Jim. See what it's like tomorrow. Yeah, Nate's oil paints. It's alive, as Miss Smudge. Veronica says, wicked. Michelle, more thinner through the centre. I was thinking of that. Jim says, meteor shower, spray it on. Yeah, I just might do that, actually, just a little bit through the centre. Just encourage this to move just a little bit more. Okay, but that's it. That's really the last. I don't think the canvas is really going to take any more, but if we get a little bit of spread into the centre, you're right, Dale. Yes, Jim, meteors. It does look like meteors, doesn't it? Interesting. How very interesting. Veronica, I can't wait to watch this on playback, says Veronica. Excellent. Henry says, love that. Blue and white magic from Henry. Let the thinners play out, says Dale. Yeah. Age is going to do a slow pan. An Indian summer from CE. Can you put puff air from an empty bottle to move the middle section? Yeah, I was thinking that. He's just saying to me, give my ear about a festival where they shoot fireworks at each other. It probably is, mate. I just don't know what it is. Right, a couple of things I need to do. Don't go away, folks, because we're minutes away from something pretty awesome. Well, Ada gives you that wonderful slow pan. Let's just deal with these edges. So definitely don't want any more thinners because of what it's doing to the base coat. No, I can't. I just can't put any more on. As he goes and puts some more on. Yeah, that's kind of going to leave you thinking now and guessing, isn't it, about the centre. Okay, think. Let's do it chemically. Because I can see something you probably can't, which is the volume on those sort of egg yolk dot shapes. So I can encourage that to move. Don't want to put any special sauce on. Okay, I think we'll leave that. That's very, very, very interesting. I did not expect that at all. So I think this is kind of the cool thing about doing this, isn't it? Is you've got to really expect the unexpected. And I think tonight, that's exactly what we've got. I promised you. Insta, you've been very, very good to have stayed there. Yeah. Okay, Miss Smudge, thank you very much. Yes, it is going to keep moving. We'll be updating our patrons with the very first look at this, probably on Friday. So you'll get to have a look at that, you guys watching. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, so if only I'd had more time for the background to dry, but then I didn't expect I was going to do this with literally a gallon of thinners this evening. So we've moved this in a completely different direction. Lots of interesting things happening now. A lot of this paint is really starting to kind of thin out as well. So that is quite interesting, really quite interesting. I think I'm definitely going to leave that. I suspect that's going to be an awful lot different in a couple of days' time. So we're going to leave that. That is really quite dramatic, especially when you look at it, I think, from this angle. From there. So actually, if you don't mind doing over roam cam just for a second, buddy. Yeah, so that's the kind of angle. I mean, that looks pretty dramatic. I think we're seeing that over on Instagram. That long kind of angle, imagine that going up a stairwell with a couple of tall vases either side. I think that could be really interesting. I'm trying to show you the textures. Can we see these mountainous regions now where the base coat is really starting to protrude through? Well, Jackie, if I tilt the table, it could be, yeah. I mean, it's tempting, isn't it, to tilt the table actually this end and make it all go that way a bit. Let me bring AD onto the chat. What do you think, buddy? Because you get a different view to me, and of course everybody else gets the same view as you.
Well, it will certainly make it move. I want you to take the roam cam and show me the first corner you started. I want to see that. Let me see where that's delineated.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much completely washed away now. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
You can almost say, where on earth has that paint gone? Well,
more
it's
like
probably...
watercolour there.
Yeah, it is. It is like a watercolour. Yeah, it's crazy how different that is to all the other ones.
It is.
So even that corner's got its own story, but you can see the impact of the base coat.
That's the next one, is to do that, wipe it, and then thinner it. And you'll end up with more of a watercolour type.
So yeah, you're right. Maybe I should do that. Yeah, just do that across the whole thing, and then put the thinners on and make it more of a sort of an airy watercolour.
It's up to you. You can put it on a slight tilt and see what happens.
I don't think it's going to move, to be honest with you, buddy, if it goes on a tilt, because I'm looking at some of these blobs and how thick they are anyway, and they're still not moving with the thinners, and I'm just not sure they're going to move.
Well, then leave it. Yeah, that's it.
I think that needs to be left to let nature do its own thing. Because of course the problem with then tilting it this way is all that is then going to fall off, and you're going to get a distinct movement. Now, whilst that works from going bottom to top, it isn't necessarily going to work that way, and I think I want to preserve that. So yeah, and my gut feeling is not to move it, it's just to leave it as is. A colourful tiger, a rainbow tiger. Paula, yes it does. Can't wait to see it in a day or so. Been turning my phone around to show all four sides. Looks great in all angles. Thank you. Calypso Sea Witch looks like a ghost. I know, I was thinking that. Rita likes the first quarter. Add some more yellow, says Henry. Leave it from Zane. It's magic already. Dale says leave it. Do not worry. I am going to leave it. Pollyanna Arts. Looks like Souls. Spirits of Fanta. Did you just say Spirits of Fanta? I love that. What a great way of looking at it. Oh, that's pretty cool. Right. Aidy's going to give you a zoom from the corner cam. Already it's developing. I can see lots of, in fact, so different from what it was only 10 minutes ago. So I can only imagine how this will again change, and how interesting it would be to do it on a base coat that is actually set. I mean, this is always the risk when I put lots of thinners on a base coat that isn't dry. This is what happens. And of course it would then be completely different. It was a fresh base coat, because now all that orange would actually be mixing with all the other colours. So again, we've got lots of variables we can play around with, but actually what we've done tonight is have a little bit of fun, and that's what we've done, and we've discovered something else that we can do, which I'm really pleased with. Would fresh dots disappear in the thinners? Not necessarily, Jackie, because a lot of this is starting to evaporate as we speak, because it's been drawn in by the base coat. So I'm not entirely sure it is. In fact, it would be interesting. Should we just try one dot? What do you reckon, mate? Should we try a dot? I will show you after it's dried, Michelle. Our patrons get it first. I'm going to try one dot over here. There you go. Yes. Yeah, I'll just put one over on your right-hand side in the middle. Of course, if I start attacking that with dots, I'd probably need to put dots all over it. But even that, I mean, hey, who's to say that when it's a bit drier, I don't put a load of dots on it? So that again could be really interesting, couldn't it? Yeah, I think there's a whole host of things I could do about this. Right. Well, anyway, look, Yeah, well, we'll still have, because I've still got it set up, mate, so we will see it in time lapse at some point. Yeah, that's a good good suggestion. It was Jackie, wasn't it? Okay, right. Please show us after it's dried. We will, Michelle. We'll publish it on social media. Don't worry. A parade of clowns from Terry Vessel. Nice, Terry. Thank you. Try one big dot to cover the whole thing. Okay. Interesting. A fun and inspirational live session, Denise. Thank you very much. Lovely. Right, so just pull something out of it. It still works. Sorry, just reading your comments. You could add streams, but another day. I would do dots in between after it's dried, Geeta. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, actually. Imagine then lots of nice dots over that. It could be really, real fun. Real fun. Okay, well, I don't think we're entirely done, but we are done certainly for one night. There we go. Well, let's give you one last look on the overhead. Insta, let's give you one last look over there. Things really changing even as we speak now. Goodness me, it's all getting a bit crazy. Paint disappearing and reappearing all over the place. I kind of like that, and it's a very, very different kind of night from us this evening, which I think you'll agree. Probably you didn't expect when you first joined us about an hour ago. Oh, I certainly want to know what you think on the comments if you're watching this after we finish the broadcast. But I do hope that you have enjoyed that, folks. Remember to give us a nice big thumbs up if you haven't done so already. We really, really appreciate your comments, as we always do, and thank you for being involved. It's amazing. Well, that just leaves me to say well done for making it this far. Thank you for all your feedback. It's been really quite entertaining, and we've done something pretty awesome. And yet again, moving our own boundaries on a little bit and learning from the process. And we've all done that together, which I think has got an amazing thing. What's even more amazing is that I survived with this piece of wire sticking into my tongue. Anyway, notwithstanding, remember, guys, we are going to be doing this again next week. We've got quite a really interesting thing arranged for next week. Don't want you to miss that. Definitely don't want you to miss that, so make sure you do tune in same time. Look for that out on YouTube. Also remember as well, just a quick shout out for our merch shop. We're adding products almost on a daily basis. We've got lots of cool things over there you can treat yourselves to, because let's face it, why wouldn't you? There's a million different things on there, like pillows and phone cases, and there's footwear, and there's clothing and drinks and mugs and bags and all kinds of wonderful things to get your teeth stuck into, even mouse pads, gaming pads and laptop notebook covers. Go treat yourself. A wide variety and selection is always available, and we're adding to it all the time. You can get that directly from the front page of the site, suarez.co.uk. Fantastico. Right then, folks, that just leaves me to say a very big thank you to all of you for watching in all four corners of the globe. We hope you have a great Wednesday / Thursday, wherever you are, and please stay safe. We look forward to seeing you again for the live stream next week. But in the meantime, on behalf of Eddie and myself, thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you very soon. We're out of here.